Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Prairie Dawgs. I'm Tyler Penner.
It's Tyler Kotowski.
And in this episode, we're talking about a lot of stuff. We're talking about doing gigs for
Black people.
I
bought some coyote spray.
He bought some coyote spray. We're talking, do aliens exist?
And also, we're talking the big bad boogeyman in Winnipeg, Peter Nygard.
We're talking about Peter Nygard. It gets a little weird.
Episode starts now.
Right now.
Get out right now. You know that one?
No.
From JoJo, the 13-year-old pop sensation.
JoJo, the idiot circus clown. Yeah, no.
I had it confused for the other JoJo.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
I remember JoJo. She was like a little teeny bopper singer or whatever.
And she was hot.
She was hot.
And I can say that because I was the same age.
We were the same age, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, they're making them my age now?
Yeah, now she's way too young. She's not hot.
Yeah.
But back then, she was as a 14-year-old, she was a smoke show.
Buddy. Yeah, I would have dreams.
Honestly.
Wet ones, dry ones.
100%.
A little bit of like hail style dreams.
Yeah. I remember being 17 or 18 and seeing that Lindsay Lohan album cover.
Oh, buddy.
And that was like,
yeah.
Good God.
That was my favorite era of any pop star, was when they went through the sexual awakening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Everyone does it. Miley's naked on a wrecking ball. Everyone does it different, which I like. Everyone has their own flavor, but
yeah,
I like them all equally.
Totally. When they come out like, no, I'm not just a sweetheart anymore. I'm a sexual being now.
Yeah, and I'm like, show me how.
Yeah. Yeah. Really?
I don't believe you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you sure? I think record companies tend to make a decision. All of a sudden, they'll come in and they'll just be like, hey, we're going to sex you up now. It's time. You're 17.
Pull your cooter out.
Yeah. We need more cooter, less cute.
Which also I kind of respect more about JoJo, that she disappeared for a while, which I assume because maybe she didn't want to show her cooter. Now she's back. She's a grown woman, and I think she just does Pilates or something now.
Yeah, I'm not ready to show off my cooter. I'm thinking for something a little more classy.
Well, anyway, welcome back to the Prairie Dawgs podcast.
We're just talking about cooters.
Leave that all in.
Leave that all in. That's going in.
Podcast started then. Anyway, what's new with you, man?
We've started this thing now. I think we're going to start plugging our shit at the beginning of the episode because none of you are making it right to the very end, I don't think.
But you made it this far.
You made it this far. You made it fucking 10 seconds. You got through the cooter convo. So now I think it's time we do that. Well, yeah, you're headlining soon?
Yeah, end of May.
Where are you headlining?
Rumors Comedy Club.
Rumors Comedy Club. I'm going to be at Rumors Comedy Club June.
The week before me.
No, the week
after me.
The month after you.
No, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up for the fine people at home. I headline May 27th and 28th.
Oh, yeah. Then it is the week after.
And then you headline the 3rd and the 4th of June.
Tyler. Double Tyler.
T2, Terminator.
T2. Tyler Tag Team.
Yep.
You're also doing stuff for the much anticipated, critically esteemed Winnipeg Comedy Fest.
Yep.
Why don't you
Actually, by the time this one comes out, I've already done it, and man, it was great.
Awesome.
I wore blue suit. I wore blue suit on the red carpet. Went Tazzy shirt for the show. Like Big Daddy Taz merch. Oh, and he hosted the show.
Sick.
So I wore this, and
yeah. What kind of merch does he have?
Well, it's on the front. It says "Got Meds," like "Got Milk."
Nice.
Not sure if this shirt's from the same era or just a reference to a bygone year.
Sure.
And then on the back, it has like a kind of a cartoon caricature style guy of him that says his website.
Oh, cool. Cool. I like those people that, they double down on their medication and they like to tell the world, yeah, I'm on pills. So what? I've got problems. Who cares?
Never guys that are just like, I'm upping my dose of Percocet. Yeah, I take pills. So what? My knee hurts.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say my knee hurt for 3 weeks, 10 years ago, and I never stopped taking them.
Sure. You're brave. That's good for you. Yeah, I hurt my back roofing. I'm doing a little fent on the weekends. You know what? I'm taking that step. I'm a self-care.
Yeah, well, sure. Sure, my back's better now, but when you ask me why I still take the Percocets, that hurts my feelings.
That hurts my feelings. Now I have to take more pills because of the feelings. I don't know where we're going with that. You seem
I was trying to say how good the show... I know, I was just trying to think of how we got here, which I often do.
Yes.
And it was that I was trying to say how the show went, but the fact is we're recording this before the show happened, so I was just trying to Nostradamus, what will happen. I was manifesting, truthfully.
Manifesting your destiny. Good for you.
But no, it'll be gooder. Like I said, I'm bringing the Jack Russells. I'm letting them loose, and I think it'll be a good time.
Hells yeah. Dude, how's the after party?
Bad. Really bad. Really bad. 3 or 4 comics pulled out their genitals, male and female. Some of them third, more nefarious gender. And so that's par for the course, I guess, for the most part.
Classic after party.
Spread was good. I'm talking ass and food. And thrilled to be there. Can't wait to go back next year.
Nice. Hell yeah. I also can't wait to go next year. It's going to be fun.
I doubt it.
I also doubt it. I doubt it.
Maybe we can tag in and out. Maybe next year I can say, hey, I don't want to be in, tag Tyler in. Yeah. And then the year after you tag me in, I tag you in.
I think they have that at the Winnipeg Comedy Fest. They can only pay one Tyler per year because I was in there last year. You were not. Yep. You're in this year. I am not. Mm-hmm. And so they just have a quota of Tyler, and there's just not room.
Yeah. Well, last year, to be fair though, I was not in because I was needlessly talking shit pretty mercilessly
online. That is
so.
True.
That was my fault. Hey, my bad. I shouldn't. I'm grown now. I've grown as a person.
See, and I've actually devolved because now I'm talking mad shit.
But you did nothing wrong up to this point.
I've done nothing wrong.
You just got left out.
I got left out of the mix, as many other great comics have also been left out.
But you know what? You can't question the blessing, because sometimes you get left out and you're like, nice, I didn't get drafted for the war.
True.
So you can't say you're mad you're left out this time. Sometimes you're left out and it was meant to be.
True. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get left out of the Vietnam War, and that was good. And now you're getting left out of the Winnipeg Comedy Fest.
Similar PTSD to be had.
Hard to say if it's good or bad.
Similarly, right? People have done the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, and then 2-3 years after the festival, you see them on the street in a wheelchair. And they're going, blah, 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 blah.
Give my meds.
So it's,
Cassie.
It's a lot like Vietnam.
It's a lot like Vietnam.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. PTSD.
I did a black show recently.
Define a black show for the audience.
So you know about black people?
Yeah.
It was a show that has the audience. The crowd is mostly people of that style, of that genre of people.
Yeah.
I've started to say that lately too, which is pretty fun to do. You go, what genre of people were they? Yeah. Were they like a country or like a hip hop?
That's actually a brilliant move. A lot of talk about racism, race wars. Let's just change that word. It's a genre now.
Yeah, genreism.
Genreism. Yeah.
I don't like some genres.
This guy's a genreist.
But to be fair, I do like when they mix hip hop and country. So I think that says a lot about my stance on.
Dude, rap and metal, great combo.
It is cool. That's what I mean. That's why I think. How do you not? How do you hear? What was it? Anthrax and Public Enemy.
Yeah.
How do you hear that and not be like, we should be working together?
Yeah, honestly.
This makes it clear that we should be one race.
Honestly, yeah. Because metal's all about fuck you, and rap's all about fuck you. So it makes sense that the two would combine. We're a big fan of mixed genre couples.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways.
So, when this show was mostly, like I said, black folks, which I love. And I have a little bit that I like to do during my sets, where sometimes I'll find a guy, I'll get them warmed up. I'll do 1 or 2 great jokes. They're rolling over in their seats, laughing, their stomachs hurts. And I'll say, hey, you look like my cousin, or you look like I'll say a guy, like my friend, or, Huey or whatever. And then I'll go, I got to show you. I know this is unprofessional, but I have to show you. So I'll pull out my phone, and then in my photos, I have an image saved of like a big black bodybuilder in like a yellow Speedo. And I show it to them, and I go, isn't that you? Doesn't that look like you? And it's usually like, well, I do it to a white guy. And then he goes, no, it doesn't look like me, right?
Yeah.
And so I was going to do this bit, and I get to the show, and it's all black people. And I went, oh, fuck.
That's not going to land.
I can't pull this up and be like, is that you?
Is that you?
They're looking at me like, no, you think that's me?
We don't all look the same, comedian.
So quick solve. I just Googled white bodybuilder. And they just did it that way.
Oh, sick.
Isn't that you? Great. Isn't that you, a white guy?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, never. Don't fuck around.
That guy's white. Why? He doesn't look like me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was fun, though. It was a blast.
Nice.
It was a hoot. There was 2 white people, and I said, hey, you guys got reverse get outed, huh? They didn't. They were the only ones that laughed.
Oh, really?
I was like, how are the white people the only ones that have seen Get Out here?
Yeah. Where was the show?
At the some like art space. I was like an art space, but like a building in the Exchange District. That's you can rent it by floor or whatever. and I guess Black Film Manitoba has one of the floors, and
Sure.
he invited us through to do a show, and I said, dude, I love Black Film. Like Blacked. I love Blacked, if you're familiar with their work. So it turns out they don't make those, but it was a good show.
You're just on stage. Hey, are you the guy from Blacked? He's like, dude, no.
That's the style of guy that I show. The bodybuilder guy, it's like a Blacked style guy.
Black style guy, sure. You know what? I mean, we talked about this before as comics, though, as white boy comics from Winnipeg.
White boys, make some noise. Just kidding. Cut that.
Yeah. White boys, white boys. Anyways.
When they say the boys are back in town, it's white guys, right?
Wait. To clarify the color of the boys that are back in town, because this is going to affect whether or not I approve or disapprove of this.
There's that one popular tweet that says there's only, so many songs about love, but there's only one song about the boys being back in town.
Yeah.
The song being, of course, the boys are back in town. But I disagree, because what's that one song, The Boys in the Bright White Sports Car? You ever heard that one?
Yeah.
And that's...
Boys in the bright white sports car.
by Trooper. And so that's the first line, Here They Come, the boys. So that's about boys being back in town, if you ask me.
That's actually true. So there's actually multiple songs about the boys being back in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least two of them.
At least two of them. At least two boys who keep leaving town and coming back. Hey, boys, pick a lane.
Is Trooper Canadian? They are.
What I was going to say, though.
Also known as Canada's party band. Sorry, go ahead. We'll come back to this.
Canada's party band?
Yeah, go ahead.
Trooper.
We'll come back.
I was just going to say, we've talked about this before, but as white boy comics from Winnipeg, making a black person laugh, it counts as 5 whiteys. I'm sorry. That's just actually because, it just hits different when you get them really busting a gut. They just have a higher... They tend to keep it realer than white comedy fans in terms of what's funny and what's not. So once you get one of those guys, it feels good. It feels good.
They don't have to express joy for you.
They don't,
but they do.
And
what a treat that is. Yeah. That's like adrenochrome for me. Is that the word? Adrenochrome, the baby blood.
It feels great because they keep it real. Honestly, I know some people will give a courtesy laugh. Some black people probably courtesy laughing, but their numbers are way lower. For the most part, if you're bombing, they'll let you die. I
was just thinking about. Is it adrenochrome? Is that what it's called? The baby blood that Hillary Clinton drinks to stay young?
Yeah, they scare the crap out of babies to maximize fear. Then they crack them open. They drink the blood. It gives them adrenaline.
Yeah, okay. So she's doing that. But then what she's also doing is doing stand-up sets for black people. And when they laugh, she goes, oh, and that makes her feel young. Makes her feel young again, too.
Probably her eyes turn to like lizard eyes.
Oh, man.
She's just she's a deaf comedy jam.
She's got a big suit on, Bernie Mac. Hillary Mac. Yeah, Trooper.
Yeah, let's get on to Trooper. I hope what we just said in these past 5 minutes is not bad. Was it bad? Do you think we fucked up?
Jump ahead. Who gives a shit?
Okay, yeah. All right.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck yourself. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Love
I actually
you.
don't even care about Trooper. Actually, now that I mention it, I just did want to say that they are, it explicitly states, also known as Canada's party band.
Who knows them as that? I mean, you didn't know that.
No, which I thought, anyone can edit Wikipedia, but...
Yeah. What other songs do they have? They got the sports car.
We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Okay. All right.
Which isn't that, what was that, a cover? Isn't that Margaritaville?
Time, not a long
yeah, isn't that
time.
just fucking Margaritaville?
How'd Margaritaville go again?
We're here for a good time.
Yeah, same lyrics.
It's the exact
same
song. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to say, you were saying, you mentioned, I mentioned it, and then you talked about it, that the adrenochrome, they scare the baby, they crack them open, they drink the blood, they go, oh, that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
That comes from, I think, originally like the Montauk Project, and anyway, they thought aliens were doing that in order to learn. Anyway, my point is, you think aliens are for real?
1,000%. They have to be real.
Yeah,
I think they are.
For context, I'll add context for the viewer. Tyler is the curator, the creator of one of the great
shit posting
accounts. Yeah, out there, Cryptardo.
Honestly. We worked our way up to 50,000 followers. Now we're at like 43 and a half because I've been slacking. And honestly, the schizo content on Instagram is just, it's not what it used to be. When I did it, back when I did it, I was on the cutting edge of schizo LARPing.
They call him the godfather of schizo.
Yeah, they call me Lord Tard on the internet. But honestly, now I go on, everyone's doing it, which, hey, fine, Godspeed. But also I realized that, my videos were getting a lot of views. I had a lot of subscribers. It doesn't really translate into instant monetary gain.
What are you going to sell them?
What are you going to sell them?
You know what you should have done? What? This is too late now.
No,
obviously.
Let's brainstorm on it because I've tried kind of every way to figure out.
Because you did the account. It was a faceless account where you would more or less point the camera at nothing and say, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Like, you can't believe what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And it would get just like, millions of views, and people would say, you're an idiot, that's a tree. And you'd go, no, but look, it's not.
Yeah.
And they love that. And then you kind of, I guess, got stale of it. You bored of it.
Yeah.
And then you did sort of a face reveal.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I'm not schizo. Sorry, please stop DMing me to say you're in my skin. I know you're not.
I know you're not in my skin. I'm not going to buy a gun. I'm not going to shoot a bunch of people.
So how do you monetize that? You can't.
Yeah.
Unless you stay under the guise of like the schizo. You're still crazy. You haven't done the reveal yet, right? But then what you do is you say, I found these pills. Now I started taking them. And now I'm so smart.
And then how does...
You just then you sell the pills.
Oh. And what are the pills, though?
Sugar pills.
Placebo. Okay, cool.
Placebo works. So whatever they think it does, that's what it'll do for them.
Cryptardo branded sugar pills, truth pills.
Supplements even. You could do it now, even now that you're kind of like, hey, I wear a ski mask and we got to overthrow the government or whatever. You could sell these pills that are like, and these will help you do it.
Yeah.
And you would sell some.
Yeah, that's true. I could just sell them pills. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I mean, I tried a bunch of stuff. I started a PayPal account, and I said, help me buy a gun, because everyone was in the comments saying, get this man a gun, buy this man a gun. So I thought, hey, I'll start a PayPal. Donate to my gun fund. I can't afford a gun. Get me a gun, and then we'll go from there. No one donated a cent. So it's literally just a shit posting account. It didn't do anything. I'm still trying to figure out ways to get people from the Cryptardo sphere into the Prairie Dawgs sphere, but I'm just not sure it's going to work. It was a good time while it lasted. It's a real rush getting like 7 million views on video. But at the same time, it's just not the same when it's not you. You went viral recently, dude, on your content. See, that's good shit.
It's not really my content. It's just the classic. I just said that the football player has this stupid name. that old chestnut?
What was the guy's name?
Fuck, what was this guy's name? God damn it. Booby Feaster.
Booby Feaster.
Booby Feaster.
That great name.
Shout out to Booby Feaster.
Yeah, how many views are you on with that?
Almost 1.5 million.
God damn, dude.
1.5 Christina millions.
Christina Milian, I remember her.
Yeah, she was a friend of JoJo's, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was JoJo's one black friend. And then JoJo was like, my mom won't let me hang out with you anymore because I'm French-Canadian.
Yeah, totally. She says it's not good.
That was my question. So aliens, yeah, they're around, huh?
Aliens, I would say, yeah, definitely are around. I mean, let's get into it. You've got, what, 1 billion galaxies with...
At minimum. I've heard 2 billion.
Okay. You've got 2 billion galaxies, 1 billion galaxies. It's a lot of galaxies.
I heard it's 3 billion.
There's a lot of different planets. There's a lot of fucking galaxies is what we're saying. And there's a ton of there has to be at least a couple of little lizards flying around in space checking shit out.
But is the thought process there that just like because there's infinite galaxies and infinite planets that there has to be something?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. There doesn't have to be something.
Right.
But there's a lot of weird shit floating around in the air.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, all those flying saucers, look at this way, okay? Look at it this way. as soon as we started launching nukes, all of a sudden there's flying saucers all over the place.
Yeah, they were not stoked maybe about that.
They were not stoked about the nukes.
Yeah.
So the aliens were like, listen, we were leaving you alone, but obviously this entire planet is too retarded to handle yourselves. So we're going to just make sure you don't just start launching nukes because we're watching you. You guys are doing kind of cool shit, but you're kind of fucking up right now. So we're going to hang around here and just keep things, keep things nice and tight because we're not happy with where this is headed.
That's chill. That's chill. With them.
Yeah, totally. And the aliens are cool. And then they backed off. And they're like, okay, cool. You gotta, all right, we'll leave you alone. You guys kind of figured it out. You're not launching nukes at each other.
And then New Metal came out. Saucers again.
Flying saucers again.
They're like, what is that? What's that sound?
Dude, that is cool. We're going to check this out.
They were like, hold on, is that anthrax?
Whoa.
Another alien was like, no, it's Public Enemy. And a third alien was like, dude, I think it's both.
Yeah. And then all the other aliens came around. They're like, dude, you're Nookie? Nookie? Holy shit, dude.
I think they would fuck with that pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Or they would like industrial.
Like ministry? Like
Stomp.
Yeah, a bunch of aliens at Rent. I like the sounds.
So they have AIDS or?
Who has AIDS? What
is AIDS, Glordon?
Glordon. He's like, I don't know. This shit is gay. I don't like it.
They shoot up through the theater ceiling. Let's get out of here.
This is gay. But yeah, I think aliens exist. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't like to think of it too much, though, because I don't want them to fuck with me. That it does make me glad that I'm, like, stupid, though. I know I got no potential, no real hidden anything.
Yeah.
So I'm never like, they're going to come for me.
No.
They don't want it. I'm
don't-
rotten.
Yeah.
That's maybe my only fear, is that I'm so rotten that they're like, what is up with that?
Why is this guy so rotten? Let's
what I mean?
check him out.
Yeah.
Let's stick a probe in his asshole.
Poke it with a stick is what they're doing, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at this. This thing is fucked.
But otherwise, no, I don't care.
Do you think there's aliens walking around dressed as humans? Like
That's a good one.
on that lizard shit?
I think maybe I would subscribe to the theory that there is some crossbreeding at some point.
Alien human crossbreeding?
Sure.
Sure.
And that some people are just a little bit that.
I think that's the
And they don't know.
Like a quarter alien. You go to ancestry.ca and they're like, yeah, you're like fucking.
It shows up as
0.5%.
South African in 23andMe.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, nice. I'm South African.
Oh, bro, I'm South African.
Bro, this is unbelievable fun. Outrageous fun. I just found out I can have 3-4 slaves.
Yeah, totally. And it's allowed. It's allowed, bro. What was I going to say, though? Oh,
Aliens.
God, I had it. That's the old Nephilim theory that aliens came here and then banged a bunch of human women and then implanted their seeds. So actually, we do have like 0.02% lizard in us.
Well, who was the one alien? The one president that was like, was it Jimmy Carter? Jimmy Carter that was like super into UFOs. I think like pre-presidency had like claimed to have seen a couple and was like into them.
Really?
And was like, when I get into office, I'm going to blow the lid off of this shit. Like, they're going to tell me what's up and I'm going to spread it. And then apparently he gets into office and they sit you down and they give you the whole thing about what they know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's him. If it's not him, someone will correct me.
Yeah, Eisenhower? Yeah, okay.
Could be. But one of these presidents, the story goes that I'm going to blow the lid off this shit. They tell him the story. And then they just like left him in the room because he was just weeping openly. Like,
sure.
Now I can't, because it's fucked. I can't tell anyone this. It would fucking,
100%.
Because if you found out, if something came out where it was like, some people are part alien.
Yeah.
And we've outed them, or there's a way to tell, or there's something like that. Do you think they would get treated like shit? Or do you think they would become the shit treaters?
I think that they would probably get treated like shit. I think all of humanity would. We would start a new hate. It'd be like speciesism.
Common enemy, though.
Common enemy, honestly. We would
Kill
band
them all,
together.
we start fresh.
Honestly.
I don't
Humans
think we would be mean to I'd be scared to be.
Scared to be mean to the aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what if they call Daddy-O
Yeah.
Glordon?
Dad. These people suck. I'm
Elon.
getting bullied. Elon.
That's their dad's name.
Yeah. They're bullying me.
Holy shit, your dad's Elon. It's a different guy. Don't
Yeah.
be fucking stupid. Dad, they think you're Elon Musk.
Yeah. That happens a lot, though. Presidents saying that they're going to do shit, and then they get into office.
I don't think this counts. I don't think that qualifies as
no, but like not. And I'm not talking about like flaking out on
promises.
Yeah, they're not flaking out on promises.
I was like, yeah, this is quite different. I think
because I think Obama did the same thing where he was like, "I'm going to close Guantanamo," and then he got into office, and I think CIA is like, "Yeah, bro, grab a seat. We're going to let you know what's actually happening." And then after that, he's like, "Okay, yeah, fuck that. We can't do that. Okay, all right." You know, because CIA just like they've got hidden information. Once they actually spill it out for people, the president's like, oh, like you said, this is fucked.
Yep. I think what actually happened there, though, you're misremembering. He did close Guantanamo, but then he opened Super Guantanamo.
Oh, yeah. I did what I said.
Yeah.
What?
Stupid. Tricked your asses.
What are you mad for? I closed Guantanamo.
Morons.
Yeah.
Okay. Aliens, yes. Ghosts, spirits, and things of this nature?
No, that's one I call bullshit on. If you were a spirit,
and I am,
and you are
in a body,
yeah, why are you here? Why aren't you floating around?
What if it's as simple as like you can't? You're trapped. You're bound by some cosmic rule.
True. Or maybe you can and you just want to hang around. Totally. Honestly, if I died, I'd be like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna hang out here for a bit. This was fun. I'm gonna watch some shit.
I would kick it at the comedy club 100%.
Yeah.
Because eventually your family dies. And you're like, oh, bummer.
Yeah.
And then I would just hang out I would just be like, go somewhere fun.
Hang out at the comedy club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone takes a stage, they're fucking bombing. You blow out a pot light or two.
That's fun.
Dude, that'd be a great time.
Fun. I possess one of the people in the crowd. I go, you're trying to take away our guns? Watch the comedian panic, flop sweat.
No, I'm just saying it's kind of weird when you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence a little bit. I do feel like I saw something weird when I was a kid. I think about it often. I was at like the end of my hall. My bedroom's at the end of the hallway. Living room when you enter the house. Living room, hallway. Down the hallway, you have like bathroom, parents' bedroom, and then at the end of the hall, it's laundry room, my room. And I would like get up out of bed in the night and I would sprint across diagonally to the bathroom if I had to go because I didn't like the dark and I didn't want to like turn on lights in the house back and forth. It's like a pretty small condo relatively. And I'd like run back. And one night coming back from the bathroom, I just like looked down the hallway and I could have swore I saw a lady just like walk across.
Holy shit.
From like the living room kind of like towards the kitchen. But it was so long ago now that outside of just like thinking of it happening and recalling that it happened.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was like after my grandma passed away or before. And that maybe it was like, but also it could have been a dream. It could have been just like a dream that I woke up and like recalled that happening.
Or maybe grandma was fucking around in the house.
I guess that's another thing. Now that you mentioned that, after my other grandma passed away, I had two. And
two grandmas.
Yeah, I know. Two gay ones. To be clear, I had two on each side, both gay.
Incredible.
It's a miracle that I'm here.
Like, no more cookies, please. It's too much.
No, in my family, there's not a cock for 3 generations.
How are you here?
I know. It's just a scissor bin. I thought that was a sneeze.
Oh, shit. I thought it was a ghost. It's our producer, Tim Gray. I cracked
producer Tim Gray with that one, and I thought someone sneezed.
Totally.
I was like, ghost!
I was like, it's the ghost of Tim Gray.
It's the scissor ghost.
Yeah.
That's my lesbian grandma. She sneezes when you make a joke about her ghost.
And the ghost is queefing.
Anyway. When my other grandma died, we went to like my uncle's place to just like kind of sit and we didn't really have, at my family, we don't really have funerals. When you die, you're just kind of gone and we go, sorry. We keep it moving. Like when my wife's dad passed away, there was like a massive service because he was like a pretty big figure in the community, like coached a bunch of teams and this and that. And there were so many people there. And I was like deeply moved. I was like, wow, this is like really nice that all these people came out and he impacted all these people. And then, my grandpa that I was telling you about fell down the stairs, bonked his head and died.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad called me. He was like, well, looks like Gito's going to die. And I was like, what? And he was like, told me what happened. And I was like, oh, all right. I was like, you want me to come over? You all right? And he was like, yeah, I'm all right. And that's kind of all. We just kind of, that was it. Yeah. We never like had a thing for him or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's how we do it.
Yeah.
But all this to say, when my grandma died and we were in the basement, there was like some footsteps upstairs.
Weird.
And we were like, that's weird. That is bizarre.
That is weird.
But
grandma hanging around, just watching her family. She loves you guys.
Unexplainable. And I also don't, if I do believe it's not for that reason, like I'm not like, oh, all of my family is still here.
Yeah.
Because I had an ex that was like that in high school. I had an ex that believed very heavily she was very religious. So she was super into like God, obviously the concept of heaven and all of this. but also loved watching like ghost hunters and believed in that.
Sure.
So it's like, which is it?
What are you doing?
She believed equally that her grandparents were either waiting for her in heaven or moaning by the furnace.
Yeah, totally.
Either way, grandpa's with me.
They're in paradise with Jesus, or they just slam that door in the hallway.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Or they're trapped in our basement.
That's what I was thinking about religion too, because I grew up with, religious. My parents still militantly religious. When you believe in religion and the stories of the Bible and stuff, it opens up a door to like mysticism and like
Totally.
kind of like, we don't know what's out there, So if you believe in God and stuff like that, and power to you, I'm not knocking that. But it does open up the door to like, if God's real and angels are real and heaven's real, and I can't see that, but I just trust, I believe in it. You start believing in demons, in ghosts, spirits, shit. Then you start believing in reptilian shapeshifters. It kind of opens up a little bit of a door where you start believing in a bunch of shit that you can't prove.
Being able to summon a demon by eating the shit of a girl you like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start doing some wonky stuff.
Yeah, you'd start doing, everybody does that. So I don't know. I'm not, I know that I'm kind of open to it. I believe
think it's as important to the advancement of people.
Yeah.
Like the belief in the occult or spiritual or otherworldly.
Sure.
As important as religion. Because religion gets people to do nice things.
It does.
To thine own brother be true, or whatever the things are.
Yeah.
And so too does, people being like, I think that ghosts are real, and if I maybe do enough drugs, I can find them.
Yeah, totally.
And then they discover something interesting.
Yeah.
Like Jack Parsons, the rocket guy.
What'd he do?
He was like a buddy of, I don't know if he's a buddy. I think Alistair Black didn't really care for him at all.
Sure.
But he effectively invented like rocket propulsion systems as we know them.
That's cool.
That enabled us to like get to Mars and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, he was like buddy with L. Ron Hubbard.
Really?
And was like creating drugs in a lab.
Sure.
Drugs of like no particular, like not cocaine and not, fucking meth or whatever, but just like, I made this one with chemicals and it makes you feel crazy.
This is M3XALK9.
That kind of stuff.
And you're just like, all right, just what do I do? Put it in my ass?
He wasn't religious. He was just like, I think I can summon a demon.
Yeah.
So like that's like that stuff keeps the world turning, baby.
And I kind of like that. It keeps shit fun. When you're demons, angels, ghosts, aliens, weirdo shit, dimensions, all shit you can't prove, it keeps it really fun. If you just went by atheist scientists, like if I can't see it, it doesn't exist.
Those guys
fucking
are dorks.
boring. Yeah, it's dorks, man. What about witches? Huh? Are they everything?
They're cool.
Yeah, you're casting spells and shit. Crystals, are they doing anything?
Are witches real? Are you asking me if women be crazy? Yeah. Yeah, witches are real.
Yeah, totally.
God, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't, sometimes I like thinking about shit that, you can't prove and you'll never be able to prove it. It keeps it fun.
That is true. I like half of the point is being able to say that, hey, I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
If it is true or if it's not true or if it's ever proved in my lifetime or not, I just like the ride, baby.
Yeah. Maybe this crystal does have power. We don't know, and neither do you.
Yep.
So I'm going to assume it does.
I have two things that I could maybe talk about, but I would like to check the time.
34 minutes, minus the JoJo Cooter talk off the top. I'm not sure if
That's staying
we're
in.
keeping that. Okay.
That's for all to see, because she might see it and say, I love him. And she hits me up and I start a new life with her.
Totally.
So,
and and she respects your comments about her not showing off her cooter.
Yeah.
And she went the class he wrote.
Yeah.
It seems those pop stars, sorry, quickly before you get into it. Of
course, yeah.
Those pop stars either take one of two routes. You can either go the whorish route and then try to maintain that for as long as you're beautiful, at which point, once you reach a certain age, they just dump you off. Or you can go the classy route where you're like, no, I'm known for my talents of singing. Sometimes you do both. Christina Aguilera did both.
Man, that's one of the all-time horny music videos. Dirty?
Oh, God, dude. That came out when I was like 16 years old.
Yeah.
I was spraying.
Yeah, that was
Let me tell you.
pretty crazy vid. Pretty
Crazy
crazy vid
video.
to just put out there.
But hell of a singer. Very talented.
It's very true.
Anyways.
I got a scam call
Scam call.
from The U.S. Border Services.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
TK's in trouble.
U.S. Border Services. And this kind lady that worked for the U.S. Border Services had a thick Indian accent. So I answered and I said, hello. And she said, hello. And I was like,
Good start.
I don't think I know this person.
Oh, I think she's in Winnipeg. Cool.
I said, hello, who's this? And she said, in the same accent, that this is the U.S. Border Services and that a package coming to my address from Mexico was inspected and it contains illegal substances.
Oh, no.
I know. That's what I said. That's literally, I said, oh, no.
My package.
My package. And I said, it's coming to me? And she said, unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
And I said, no way. What address is it coming to? And she said, yours. It's pretty good, eh?
Your address.
I was like, oh, no. Mine? And she was like, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. But just so we're clear here, what's the address? And she said, yeah, your address.
The one you live at.
And
where you live, it's
so
going there.
The jig was up. We laughed together, and then they hung up.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, you called them up.
That's fun. That's fun.
Where's the package going? Oh, where you are.
They're like, I have a question for you. What is your address?
Yeah. What is your address? And then I'll tell you where the package is going. How about that? Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes those scammers, God bless them.
Yep.
You know what I feel sorry for, though? I feel sorry for old people. Because one day we're going to be old.
I was just going to say that.
Were you?
Yep.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I was just going to say that I think they are going to get my parents one day, though.
They're going to get my parents, dude.
They didn't get me, but they are going to get... A guy called me, he said, I'm from TELUS. Are you on TELUS? Are you with TELUS? And I was like, no. And he just hung up.
No.
But it's like, I am with TELUS.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't know that, obviously.
Yeah.
And my dad would fall for that.
I know. Man, it's crazy. And now with AI voice alteration, dude, we're fucked.
Oh, they're calling you with Tupac's voice.
Yo.
Bradley, Hail Mary is Tupac. Are you with TELUS?
You fuck with Rogers, yo. I'm like,
it's DMX calling from Rogers.
Rogers.
RBC gonna give it to you if you send us your banking info.
And by it, I mean a decent mortgage rate. I'm like, okay, DMX is badass and dead.
Have you made a will yet?
I got a good DMX voice.
You're gonna die soon.
Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna.
The kids won't cry.
They're gonna get us, man. I mean, we're gonna get old, and some slick talking Indian Punjab is gonna be calling from some call center in Delhi through a voice alterator, and it's gonna be like my buddy being like, "Hey, man, I really need your help right now. I'm dying." And I need your bank info. And I'm going to be like 80 years old, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, here you go. Boom, bank account withdrawn. Yep. But I'll be broke, so they ain't getting shit.
Yeah, it's true. That's the thing is I'm going to keep one account from myself like Memento. One account will have money in it, and another account I won't fuck with at all.
Yeah, totally. And you'll have short-term memory loss, so you won't know what the hell's going on. But
yeah, I wake up with a Joker tattoo on my things. I'm like, what does this mean?
Totally.
I think I watched Joker 2.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, I got a call from Rogers the other day, and I was like,
"Real Rogers?
Well, the dial said Rogers."
Oh, okay.
So I answered
fake that.
Yeah, I answered the phone. I was like, "Hello," and then 5 seconds of silence, and then all of a sudden it went, and then someone was like, "Hello," and
I hate that.
And then I hung up. I'm like, "We're not doing this."
You know what? I would let you scam me if you had the courtesy to answer the phone when I do.
Yeah, exactly.
But they got 4 other calls going. And if someone answers it like, hello, they're talking to that guy before they talk to me going, hello? Where the fuck is it?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, bye.
No, as soon as you say, yeah, what, then they know you're too smart. But
yeah, that's the thing. They often hang up when I say, what can I do for you, boss?
Yeah.
That's the rudest thing you can say with no swears.
Honestly, fuck those guys out because, like, you know, you have like some
scammers, not Indians.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, let's make that very clear. The scammers.
Yeah.
Fuck the scammers because some sweet old lady who doesn't know this shit world that we're familiar with, they just scare, like, you know, they get on the phone like, you're going to jail. We're coming to arrest you unless you pay your taxes in Amazon gift cards.
Well, because they say the address is yours, and they go, "That's where I live."
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So they get spooked.
Fuck.
Yeah.
My address? I live here. I can't. No.
Hold on. You said that's where I live.
What package from Mexico? Oh no.
I do know about Mexico.
I know Mexico must be drug related. I'm in trouble. Send you money, of course.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, man, that's cool that you got to him. It was cool that you had a little friendly interaction where you're both like, you're like,
I like to think they got off that call and they were like, I'm going on lunch.
Yeah.
You got me. I better have some. I've lost the touch.
Yeah, 100%.
Another thing is that I bought coyote spray recently.
Coyote spray.
Yeah, it's like bear spray, but it's a little more discreet. Because bear spray comes in a canister like this.
Yeah.
And you got to go
big
orange thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Coyote spray is a little more like it's.
Why are you buying coyote spray?
For coyotes.
You got a coyote problem?
Well, I live in an area where there is kind of like a nature-ish area, like a man-made whatever.
Yeah.
And I've seen like foxes and coyotes while I'm out walking. And I have like a smaller dog.
Yeah.
And so I don't want, just for whatever.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Also, sometimes I'll be on the road driving.
Sure.
Right? And some fucking coyote will cut me off.
Yeah.
Gives me the finger.
Totally.
So I got to pull up beside this coyote and be like, are we fucking playing games today?
You got a lot of balls for a coyote. I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. And then if they got fucking, attitude, then I got to spray them so they don't get too close because they're a dangerous animal. So.
And they're just like, this is mildly irritating. This is coyote spray, right?
No, it's still pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still pretty gnarly. It's just not orange.
Yeah.
But it's nasty. One time my brother had like a pepper spray when I was a kid. And because he was like a tough, cool guy.
Yeah.
He's like 7 years older than me. So my buddy and I found it in we shared a bedroom. And so we found it in the bedroom when we were like maybe 13 my buddy and I looking for it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, what is this? So we like sprayed a little bit. And then we were like, it immediately gets in you real good. Yeah. And even my dad was like, what is that? Oh my God. And they were changing one of the sinks in the kitchen. So my mom was like, I think it's like sludge from the sink. Oh, close that back up. You're making us all cough. And so,
that's what it is the sludge from the sink.
So we were like, whew.
Yeah.
Nice, dodge that one.
Yeah.
But it's nasty. And so, I keep it on hand just because I have a temper. And so sometimes I'll a coyote won't even do something even that wrong. And I'll be like, fuck you, you little coyote. And then if they give me attitude back.
On principle, I got to do this.
Well, I expect submission.
Cat.
Whenever I get into like an altercation or an interaction with a coyote,
yeah,
I expect submission.
Yeah.
So if they're like, "No, fuck you, you cut me off," I go, "Buddy, are we doing this?
Are we doing this? You want to do this right now?"
Happened to me just last week. I was trying to turn onto Portage, and this coyote was like walking slowly across the street this way. The coyote had the right of way, like the pedestrian right of way, and it knew. So he was going, and I can't turn right because it's no right from whatever.
Sure.
To this to that, and there's cars coming. So I'm stopped, and I'm just kind of like looking at the cars, looking back, and he's looking at me like, giving me the fucking go ahead. Oh, go ahead, mister. Yeah. Go, you go. And I wasn't even moving, so I was like, no, you go. You go. And then he did and fucking stared at me the whole time, mean mugged me. So I unrolled my window at this coyote, and I said, is there a fucking problem?
Hey, coyote, we got a fucking problem here?
That's what I said. And so then he stops and turns back, and I was like, okay, we might. And so he came up to my window, and he said, I was just being a nice guy. This is what the coyote says. I was being a nice coyote. I was going to let you go. And I said, no, I know what you're fucking doing. You weren't being a nice guy because you knew I couldn't go.
Yeah.
So you're being a prick. Just fucking walk.
Just walk across the street. It's your turn. Just go.
Right. And so he goes,
stupid coyote.
He gives me fucking attitude, this coyote.
Yeah.
And then he's walking away smirking at me. So I told him, I'll beat your eyes shut.
Hey, coyote.
I told him straight up. I said, coyote, I'll beat your fucking eyes shut. And he said, pull over then. And so I did, around the corner.
Yeah.
And I popped my trunk and I said, back, coyote. And he said, oh, all right. Defused, okay. Just like that.
Defused.
See, there's coyotes everywhere. You got to be safe.
You got to handle the coyotes like that, man. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I was driving in traffic the other day too, and same thing. Like, I can't turn right on red. There's cars coming, but it said no right turn on red. There's a bunch of cars. I don't know where the cops are. Coyote behind me in some fucking massive Mercedes G-Wagon. He starts honking at me like I'm holding him up. I'm like, hey, bro, I know you.
I pointed the sign.
okay, you have more money than me. You're in a rush to a very important business meeting. I'm not getting a ticket because your fucking impatient ass wants to run this red light that we're not supposed to. I'm not doing that for you, coyote. So I got out. And I had a rifle in the back seat, and I just pointed at him. But he got the message. He reversed, ran over a couple of people on the sidewalk.
Like an animated little...
Back into nature. That's how you got to handle these goddamn coyotes in this Wild West Winnipeg traffic we have.
Yep. They belong in nature.
In the zoo.
That's got to probably bring us to story time.
Yeah, we're at 45.
Oh, fuck yeah. This will
Again, pending... Cooter talk.
We'll maybe you get 5 bonus minutes on this app. Who cares?
Yeah, totally.
We'll do a good one. We'll do a good one this week.
Well, they've all been pretty good.
But this is a good one. This is one of the top Winnipeg. How do you say it? Winnipeg boogeymen.
Yeah, by the way, I ordered some shoes from FedEx the other day. My last name's not Peener, okay? They wrote that on the goddamn thing.
Mr. Peener, your shoes are here.
Yeah, we missed you, Peener. And they put it on the window of my building. So now everyone thinks there's some dude living in the apartment named Peener. And then I go to pick up the package today, and the guy, he's like looking at my name. He's like, oh, Penner? And he's East Indian man, looks like Gandhi, very chill, nice guy. But he's like, are you related to the magicians? I'm like, what magicians? And he's like, the Penner, right? I'm like, you mean Penn and Teller? And he's like, yes. Are you related? I'm like, no, we have different. I'm not related to half of each of them. Anyways. Penn and Teller. Yeah, he just combined them too.
Yeah, I'm their son. I'm kind of like the mix of if a boy and a girl had a baby.
Yeah, exactly. 2 magicians had a baby, and they gave birth to a comedian.
That rocks. Okay, so this is one of the big Winnipeg boogeymen. Nice. Maybe the number one. Peter Nygard.
Can we do this in 15?
Yeah, we can bust through a quick Nygard.
I feel like this is like a whole episode, multiple episodes.
No, because there's not. Nah, you'd be surprised.
Really?
Because much of his life is just making pants.
Okay.
Just making some slims for the ladies.
Making pants.
He's Finnish. I don't know if you knew that.
I thought he was Swedish.
No, he's born Pekka Johari Nygard.
Pekka?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So Pekka, I think, is actually a cooler name if you're going to be a diddler. To just be like, he put this pecker. Pekka peckered me.
Your Honor, what did you think he was going to do? His name was Pekka.
Yeah, so, born... I think they're saying born in Finland, but then obviously, in Helsinki, obviously settled in Winnipeg. It says known for founding Nygard International. Does not say known for, doing rapes and trafficking and stuff.
Yeah, big human
I'd say that's probably what he's more known for.
Now he's not known for his oddly shaped jeans. He's known for his human trafficking ring.
It says years active, 1967 to 2001, which is funny to be like active. Like active what?
Yeah.
That's when he was actively trafficking?
He was actively doing what?
That's when he was at the top of his game. You understand? So he was worth a buttload, dude. When he got effectively busted in 2017, 2019-ish era, he's worth $900 million.
What?
It's just like, that's so much money for jeans.
That's a lot of money for jeans.
I don't think Levi's is worth that much money.
No shit.
And I buy those.
It's crazy, though. He had stores in Times Square and stuff like that, and I still don't, because his jeans were they were super tight at the top, and then they flared out to an obscene level at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which I guess was a style at a certain time, but
maybe that's the thing, is maybe he was like the guy that did that. You know what I mean?
He invented the bell bottom or whatever.
Or at least those ones where they're like, oh, these fit so good. You got to get the Peters. The Pekkas?
You got to get the Pekkas.
The Pekka Perfect Pekka Poppers.
Yeah, totally.
Pekka picked the Pekka Popper.
Traffickers, 501.
He went to the University of North Dakota. That's where he got his business degree.
Really?
Just popped over the border, got that. He's from Deloraine, Manitoba.
Deloraine.
Yep.
I don't even know where that town is.
I'd love to tell you all about it. It's an unincorporated urban community.
Unincorporated urban community.
In the municipality of Deloraine, Winchester.
What?
Hopefully that helps you.
No, it doesn't.
It's like way, way south. Like almost it looks like at the border of Manitoba and the States.
Southeast or southwest?
Southwest. west.
Yeah, see,
almost
there's
at the border.
Manitoba's got a lot of land we don't even really know about. Like, there's towns out there you've never heard of. Been to Melita? You ever
Sure,
been to?
that's a classic.
Yeah, totally.
Its attractions in Deloraine is one of 2 stone bank vaults still in existence in Western Canada, which I don't think would be an attract. You can't go to the bank and be like, "Can I see it?"
Can I see the vault?
A half-mile harness racetrack hosts racing during the summer. Who gives a shit? And the Prairie Sentinels Park, home of the Flags of the World Millennium Project. The Prairie Sentinel Park, formerly known as, go ahead, take a guess. Nygard Park.
Nygard Park.
Nygard
Okay,
Park.
I thought we were going there.
Yep, it was. They in his hometown. Why wouldn't they name a park after him? He sold so many fucking jeans.
He sold a lot of jeans. So let's name a park after this guy.
So it's a park with all these flags flying, and then they used to have one pair of denim just fucking flopping up there at the bell bottoms.
That's actually an inspiring story. Peter Nygard standing in the park, looking at all the flags of the world and saying, you know what, one day I'm going to traffic girls from all these countries. Every flag I see, I'm going to get a girl from each one, fly them to the Bahamas, and just have a good old time.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. Peter Nygard. So they named a park after this guy. Now it's called, what's it called?
I think it's the Prairies Sentinel Park.
Okay, cool.
I lost it. It doesn't matter. It's not called Nygard anymore, I'll tell you that much.
That's bad PR for that town, I got to tell you. I mean, good for them for changing it.
It does suck. Yeah, that's the thing. It sucks to go from like your number one thing, this is what we are, and then to be like, oh, okay, we better change it.
Yeah.
Shit, he's our top guy, but what can we do?
Yeah, because, for years they were like, Peter Nygard grew up in this town. And now they're like, yeah, Peter Nygard grew up in this town.
We're going to bury him here too, just so you know.
Yeah, totally.
That's how I would reclaim it. It would be like, it's tough. That's tough. It's like if Dancing Gabe got busted for doing, finger blasting some animals or something. He's been finger popping Mickey Mouse the whole time. But he doesn't know it's wrong.
Should we let him dance? I don't know.
So anyway, yeah, we'd put him down if that happened.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he founded, of course, Nygard Apparel Manufacturing Company, later rebranded Nygard International in 1967. And then in 1978, his takeover of a sportswear designer's business in New York led to a 12-year legal battle.
Whoa, why?
I don't know. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
You said we got 15 minutes, not 3 episodes.
That's true. Yeah.
Because we could get into all kinds of, small, like, he has a whole section on lawsuits. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different bullet points.
Peter Nygard really just stirring shit up everywhere he went, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
In the 90s, he settled a sexual assault harassment complaint.
In the 90s already?
In the 90s.
Oh, early starter.
In 99, he sued someone for defamation concerning her comments about his parties with naked women.
Okay.
So she called him out and he sued her.
Oh, that's funny. I thought it was like, so people knew this guy was a bit of a dirtbag back in the 90s.
Yeah, that case went on for 2 years and she effectively just ran out of money and had to settle. And the settlement consisted of her publishing an apology in the newsletter. Or a newspaper, a Finnish newspaper.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
She's apologizing to him.
Because she ran out of money, effectively. Just because he has the most money to be like, one more court case, one more court case, one more court case. 2005, Finnish newspaper published an article about the sex parties once again, even featuring a short interview with Jessica Alba, where she felt she had to leave a party at the Nygard K mansion. She was there filming Into the Blue after witnessing events at the party.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dude,
so there was big names kind of being like, I don't know.
So Jessica Alba's filming a movie. Peter Nygard's like, hey, Jess, we're having a party tonight. You want to come? She's like, cool. She goes there. Greasy shit going down. She's like, I got to go.
I don't know if I feel comfortable. I'm just looking to see if Into the Blue is a Weinstein film, because how funny would that be?
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't seem to be.
Oh, man. Peter Nygard.
So there was, big-ass names being like, should we look into this? But no, the jeans were so comfortable.
The jeans are just that good.
2006, tax authorities claimed he underreported $15 million in taxes.
That's a lot.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
That's the thing. If I was doing international sex trafficking, I would be paying my taxes.
Yeah.
I'd be paying the taxes on the sex trafficking. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you'll notice there's $3 million on there because I'm bringing girls to the Bahamas for sex.
Yeah.
So I included that, and please don't come after me for an audit.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe don't look into my personal things. I'm also worth probably $700 million at this point. Why don't we just pay it? Why don't we just pay it so they don't come snooping around the island? Because we're kind of doing some goofy things out there.
These guys need like a money guy who has the ability to just spend $10 million, no questions asked, on their behalf in order to be like, you needed me to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
2008, he's sued again by a former girlfriend for slamming a door on her hand. And he quickly settles that one.
Pekka, watch your temper.
2006, he sues the CBC for copyright issues about private videos taken at his residence.
Oh, they did that Fifth Estate story, right?
Yep.
Fifth Estate was actually pretty good for that. But
Dude,
I like Fifth Estate.
They went hard on a lot of really good stories.
Yeah.
CBC, pretty much dog shit, but really good work by the Fifth Estate team.
Totally.
Yep.
Winnipeg Comedy Fest. Who are they sponsored by?
Not sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so he sued them. Also filed a criminal prosecution against 3 different journalists, accusing them of conspiring to discredit him and his clothing empire.
Oh, yes. They're trying to take away my jean empire.
Your Honor, you don't understand. They are trying to take... What accent is this?
It's German, but it's pretty good.
Your Honor, you don't understand. I have multiple personality disorder. Sometimes, bud, I think I'm from South Africa.
Brew.
Anyway.
Other time I work in a call center. Yeah, dude. Oh God, Nygard, please. You're slamming doors on people's hands. You're shipping people out to the Bahamas. You're German and South African.
Keep your shit in check, dude.
Dude, you need to keep your shit in check. He got too cocky. Got too powerful.
He absolutely did. That's the bottom line. Ultimately, the big stuff that caught up to him outside of, bankruptcy, various things that he had to do of this nature. Numerous times he'd been accused of forcible confinement, trafficking, assault, harassment. So yeah, in 1968, police charged him with a sexual offense. Charges were later dropped after his victim declined to testify.
I wonder why.
I mean, even if you're just like, here's $1 million, you're like, yeah, actually, that's fine.
Yeah, honestly, here's $1 million. Fuck off.
In 1980, the Free Press wrote that the police had charged him with the sexual assault of an 18-year-old woman. Later, those charges were stayed because she declined to testify.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty good. And then in the 90s, Nygard settled sexual harassment complaints with 3 former employees in Manitoba.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah,
this guy, there's nothing, no one gets in more trouble than like a horny, bored old guy with a shit ton of money.
Too much money. If he had less money, he would have stayed out of jail.
No, totally. Those guys are they're bored. They've got all the money in the world and they want to come and they just don't, they just get real weird with it. Look at Diddy, dude. Too much money, too bored, and it just ran away from him. You got to control that, dude. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
And just an overall bad dude. It says that in 2020, he was sued by 2 of his sons on accusations that he directed a sex worker said to be his girlfriend to sexually assault them.
What?
So that he was like, jack them off or whatever.
To his own sons?
Yeah, to his sons.
And his sons were like, fuck you, Dad. I'm taking you to court?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't care for him. A couple of the sons have come out in support of victims to just be like, dude, I'm with you. And I know he sucks because, he had some lady jack me off.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but he should not have done that.
He should not have done that.
He should have given me the money to hire her myself.
Yeah. Bad, Pekka. Bad.
Pekka, down.
I mean, you got to be a piece of shit when literally the entire world hates you, including your own children. Once your own sons start going after you, you done fucked up, Peter.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
FBI started looking into him, that's how you know you've made it.
Yeah.
As a Canadian, when the FBI starts looking into
when the Federal Bureau of Investigation of the United States of America starts looking at, starts looking up a kid from Deloraine, Manitoba.
There was a class action fired up against him.
You made it.
which is hilarious because normally a class action is like, did Facebook release your information? Like, you know how many people you have to traffic for it to be a class action?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Like where lawyers are reaching out to be like, anyone else get trafficked?
That's a good point.
Come on in because we're doing this trial if you got trafficked.
Yeah, sign the form if you've been trafficked.
Yeah, he got ultimately extradited. He agreed to be extradited, but it's like, I don't think you get to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to extradite you. Okay. Okay, but to be clear, if you had said no, we would have taken you. No, but we would have, Peter. No, I'm agreeing.
I'm with you guys. I think the best course of action is to extradite me and arrest me. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here, boys. Yeah, we don't need your fucking page, you pervert. Get on the goddamn plane. We're going.
Yeah, so ultimately, I mean, we could go over all kinds of different judgments and lawsuits and investigations. But he gets arrested. They pretty much nail him for everything. Well, I shouldn't say everything, because as you know, with cases like this, it's often like, we know you did a lot.
Yeah.
Look at Diddy, right? Where it's like, we know you did a lot, but how much are we going to prove and sentence you for?
Yeah.
Hopefully enough.
Sure.
In his case, I mean, Nygard's 83 years old.
Yeah.
So you don't need to hold him too long to be like, just rot in there. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, you won't be all right, but you'll be dead.
You're going to die.
Which is all right in this. That's the all right we're seeking.
Yeah, totally. You're going to die in the hole. So have fun, Peter.
Yeah, just a real piece of shit. In footnotes, he had like a 5 to 7 year feud. Not more than started in 2005, ended in 2023, a feud with Louis Bacon, who was a hedge fund manager that Nygard just had like a neighborhood beef with.
Louis Bacon.
They lived near each other, and one would point speakers at the other's house, and then Nygard would throw concrete on his property. And like
in the Bahamas?
This is in New York,
New York.
I believe. Oh no, at Nygard K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So it was an overflow problem at Nygard K. And he ultimately ended up having to pay Louis Bacon more than $203 million in damages.
Holy shit.
Because he was just, the judge said that it was a deliberate plan by Nygard to personally and professionally destroy Bacon over the course of a decade.
What a piece. You've got your own island. And
a global smear campaign you're conducting.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So goes over, obviously, that he had plenty of assets, was awarded the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Medal.
What?
If you make a good enough gene.
Yeah, totally.
The Queen's like, this makes my ass feel so good.
My ass has never been more plump than it is right now. I've got a real peach back here.
Gross.
You, sir, have done your country proud.
You know what they need? They need a rich person police where you have some sort of independent global police force driving around to these Bahamas and these like private mansions on fucking Montauk Island and Bohemian Grove and all that shit. Uh-huh. They need to be keeping track of billionaires and walking in to their orgies and their parties and just kind of like milling about, like like an inspector coming to check out different bars, making sure they have their liquor license and stuff. They need that to make sure that, hey, is everyone here consenting to be here? Has anyone here been trafficked here?
And don't lie.
Don't lie. Is everyone here of age? I want to see some IDs now. Okay. All right. Looks okay. This orgy can continue. You masked weirdo perverts. Have fun. Have fun. As long as everything's above board. They need to start doing this because between Epstein and Diddy and Nygard, dude, this shit's getting out of control. These bored billionaires, they're just trafficking kids. It's crazy.
He is kind of like, in a lot of ways, Canadian Epstein.
He's Canadian Epstein, really.
He had an island where he was trafficking people. Yeah. Less instances, I think, of none. In fact, I think like there was never a list, the Epstein or the Nygard list.
Sure.
Like people that went to Nygard Island or whatever.
Yeah.
One, Jessica Alba. Parentheses, hated it.
Hated it.
Wanted out immediately.
Yeah.
It would be funny. It would be like, if there was a list, it would be like Gord Downey.
Yeah.
Gordie Howe.
Gordie
Just
Howe.
1,000 different Gords.
The great one. Wayne Gretzky.
Gord. That's my uncle. My uncle Gord went over there.
Really. Fifi Dobson.
Down with Webster, the whole band.
Yeah. 5440.
I don't know about them.
Oh, they're just like, I think they're Canadian.
Trooper
Trooper.
would have been there doing stuff. So
Yeah.
2024, he gets 11 years for 4 counts of sexual assault, which is not enough. 4 counts of
That's
sexual
not
assault
enough.
is so few. That's crazy.
No.
But he gets 11 years, which will be enough to kill him.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially
So
on beans and rice or whatever they feed these guys in prison.
did they take his empire? Is he still in control of his money and stuff?
I mean, well, you saw it. We saw it in real time. It was really funny to see like the Nygard signs slowly come down.
Yeah, that was great.
Across.
It's
Part
a
of it
muffler
was
shop now.
when they busted him initially, he stepped down. He was like, fine, I'm stepping down. And then like pretty soon after they realized that he did not in fact step down and
Yeah.
still owned 100% of his shares. And they were like, hey, he
Yeah.
was like, okay, sorry. I will now.
I will now.
So he was like, yeah, like a Vince McMahon style where he definitely wanted to hold on the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I think they denied him bail because he was a flight risk. He was a risk of like shredding evidence, things of
Yeah.
this nature. So they said, no, we're going to keep him here until we can investigate this, and then we'll follow up.
Yeah. So all these bored pervert billionaires, real problematic people. Manitoba, home to at least one of them. We gave birth to this piece of shit.
One of the all-time greats, man. And let me say
of the
this.
all-time
Let me say
greats.
this. Let's not say that he was all bad. He's a longtime sponsor of amateur sports in the Bahamas. In June 2010, he was the main sponsor of the Amateur Boxing Federation of the Bahamas team for the Continental Elite Boxing Championships.
Oh, so he's like actually a good guy.
Yeah, or I would say that actually feels like racism. Because I sponsored these young Bohemian boys, and I'm going to bring them to Ecuador to fight for me.
Yeah, honestly, this guy's getting into the Django Unchained fighting rings.
It would have been funny if he sponsored. Did you ever see that one Olympics where the Grateful Dead sponsored the Lithuanian basketball team?
No.
The Lithuanian basketball team couldn't afford to go to the Olympics. And so the Grateful Dead of Grateful Dead fame sponsored the team. And so they showed up in tie-dye
Oh, that's sick.
gear
Nice.
in the colors of like the Lithuanian flag.
Just a bunch of deadheads.
But so picture that, but Nygard sponsoring the
Yeah.
Bohemian boxers, and their gloves are just made of denim. They're just scraping up guys' faces with their fucking Levi's 511 gloves.
That reminds me, I think it was the Romanian team who played basketball in the Special Olympics. They won gold, and then they found out that none of them
I
had
knew
disabilities.
exactly where that was going.
These are just normal dudes who wanted a gold medal.
Yeah, some of them were just
Yeah.
they just breathed through their mouth for a week,
Yeah.
and that was that.
They were never handicapped. They were just Romanian. That's the thing.
And I guess a final footnote I'll put on this
Sure.
is that at the very top of the Peter Nygard Wikipedia page, before it even gets into any of the information, it says, not to be confused with Petri Nygard, who is a Finnish rapper and singer.
Oh, man, dude.
So if
That
you're
guy's got
him,
his work cut out for him. Let me
I would
tell you.
change my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were called Blepstein, I'd be like, I'm John now.
Yeah.
know?
My name's Joffrey Blepstein. Yeah. I'm T Daddy.
Yeah, if I had to put together the Avengers of trafficking, it'd be like Diddy, Epstein, Nygard, and maybe like a fourth guy that we haven't found out about yet.
Yeah. Fourth guy's going to come soon.
Spacey. Kevin Spacey would be like the Hawkeye of that Avengers.
Yeah.
Where like he doesn't traffic, but he like diddles a little bit.
He is a little bit.
Like he's getting into it.
Yeah, Weinstein's in there, but I don't think Weinstein had the resources to get his own island. We're talking about guys who, like P. Diddy, kind of had his own island, his own mansion. You got Nygard, he has an island. You got Epstein, he's got an island. You know, Bezos, maybe even Musk. Maybe.
Once you have an island, you got to start asking questions.
Yeah. Once you're north of a 9-figure net worth, someone should be like, all right, let's keep tabs on this guy.
That's too many figures.
There's too many figures.
6 is perfect.
6 is great.
Everyone in the world could afford to make 6 figures.
Yeah. Everyone in the world respects 6 figures because the poor people are like, oh, that's a good amount of money. And even like the rich people are like, hey, you know what? Down to earth guy.
Yep.
Still milling about. 6 figures is perfect. 7 figures, really good. 8 figures, kind of weird. 9 figures, fucking weirdo. 10 figures,
You're trafficking.
you're trafficking.
10 figures, you're trafficking.
You're a lizard.
What else do you do with that money? It's too much money.
It's too much money.
I
You
would
gotta-
traffic something. Probably not women, but I would traffic something.
I would, yeah, what would you traffic?
Oh, man. Watermelons?
Water.
The Japanese ones that are square.
Yeah, with no seeds, no shell.
And I'd build a house and it would just be rotting and stinky.
You know what I would do? I would traffic water to Africa. That's what I would start
And
trafficking.
what would you do with it? You'd give it to them, or you'd swim in it?
Just swim in it.
Yeah.
Crystal clear water in front of these.
I was friends with a kid when I was younger, a young black boy. When you said Africa, it made me think of that respectfully. And I had a swimming pool, with the condos that I lived in did, and he was like, "Can I come swimming?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course you can come swimming, 100%." And so he went to go ask his mom, and she was like, "No, you can't go swimming, stupid." And I was like, "Oh, that's no." Like my mom, like she said that he can, and he's like, "Yeah, mom, he said that he can. We can go swimming." And she's like, "No, you can't go swimming." And so we just like begged her until she was like, "Fine, stupid." And so he came, jumped in the water, immediately sank to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, she was right.
She was saying, "No, you cannot swim.
You
do
can't
not
swim.
know how to swim."
This is dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little communication error. She should have.
Oh, I thought she was like a mean mom. She's
well,
not.
no, she should have said it without the accent. It was confusing. But anyway, on that note,
On that note, man, that's the podcast for this week.
it's a wrap.
Big thanks to Tim Gray for editing out the million lip smacking sounds. I don't know if you guys know this. We are struggling on the lip smacking front because I don't drink water and this guy does not drink water and we're not going to. We refuse to.
My body rejects it as sweat.
Honestly.
If I drink water, I just sweat more. What's the
I
point?
know. Every time I drink water, like I just pee it out. So I'm like, what are we doing here?
Wasteful.
We're wasting. So now it's just our producer Tim Gray's job to edit literally every smack out, like this one. Sorry, bro, you got to take that out.
Those ones can stay. Those
Get
ones
to
can
work,
stay.
Tim.
No one's making it this far.
Big thanks to Timbo though, and big thanks to Ashdown Market and
Lucy's Comedy Club.
Comedy Club.
Yep. Zellers.biz for ticks.
Zellers.biz for ticks.
Lots of good stuff always happening here. Whenever you are watching, there is something happening.
Rumors Comedy Club.
Yep. May 27th, 28th.
June 3rd and 4th, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Winnipeg Comedy Fest, whatever.
It was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a great time.
And if I die before the next episode, I will haunt this pod. So long.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Love you guys.